Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more waterfowl patterning, and today we've definitely got a rather interesting combo that for whatever reason, I don't really know why we haven't tried it yet, but I expect to see some really nice looking results out of it based on what we've seen from these shells before. We know there's some great shells, there's no doubt about that, so this combo should work out very nicely. And y'all have been asking for some more waterfowl patterning, so we're going to get back into it a little bit here. Every so often we'll do a waterfowl pattern test for you, but today is definitely a pretty interesting one, that's for sure. But as for those shells we've got, I brought out some of the Salt Creek triple curl waterfowl shells, but these ones are their 20 gauge, 2 3/4 inch, 7/8 ounce payload of TSS 9s, moving about 1400 feet per second. So these are a 20 gauge waterfowl shell, but they are a TSS load, not a steel load. Now this isn't sponsored or anything like that by Salt Creek, but they do make some fantastic shells, and these have been no exception. We've tried them through cylinder, skeet, improved cylinder chokes. We've tried them through tighter chokes, and to be honest with you, through an improved cylinder, they gave us what was almost a turkey type of pattern down at 40 yards. So we know these are some very nice performing shells, but what are they going to give us through today's choke? So as for that setup, I brought out the Stevens 301 20 gauge. It has a 26-inch barrel on it, and for the choke, I realized that we have never tested these triple curls through just your regular old standard flush modified choke, and that's what we have here. This particular modified choke measures at a 599 constriction. For anybody that wanted to know those exact measurements, either way, should be a very nice performing combo. We definitely don't need a modified choke to have a nice waterfowl pattern from these shells, and this might give us too tight of a pattern for all I know, but we're gonna try it and see what happens. But as for today's test, everything is set up the same as usual. I've got the target set up at 40 yards and the chronograph so we can get our velocity from the shell. So let's get you guys a view of that target and see how the triple curl TSS 9s can do through just your regular old flush modified choke. Should look pretty impressive, but let's take our shot and see what we get. Alright, so that shell gave us 1467 through the chrono. The boss claim is only 1400, so we are moving a bit quicker than that. But from what I remember, mid 1400s is what we had been seeing from these shells, so that's nothing out of the ordinary. And a TSS 9 at mid 1400s is going to be carrying a good bit of energy down there at 40. But what kind of a pattern did they give us through that modified choke? Let's go check it out and see. Alright, so now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and yep, I gotta say, that is pretty impressive. And honestly, it might be a little bit too tight for a lot of people. Now, moving in here and looking, we clearly covered that entire duck paper with pellets there. There's nowhere he can move to and get away from you. You've got 3 or 4 right through the head and neck area, and a ton more down through the body. And you can't even really see it, but there are a few pellet holes in here that didn't even really flake off the target all that great either. So there's more pellets there than what you can really even tell on camera. We might have been just a touch off to the right, but it really wouldn't have mattered because it's still a really nice and even pattern throughout the vast majority of it here. We did throw a couple little stringy flyers up there at the top and maybe a couple more down here around the bottom, but nothing too major. So that's just a very nice, tight, even spread of pellets right there overall. Now, looking at the entire thing, if you like tight patterns, then that's going to be perfect for you. But I know there's also going to be a good amount of people that would prefer that to be a little bit more open. As for myself, I would probably prefer it to be a little bit more open than that. However, if you're hunting in a blind over a pretty wide river or something like that, where your shots are going to be passing shots at 35, 40, 45, maybe 50 yards, that's going to be a combo that you can absolutely hammer with, no doubt about it. 1400 plus feet per second with a TSS load is going to nail some ducks all day long, out to 50 plus yards. However, if you're hunting at 20, 25, 30 yards over a set of decoys, that pattern's probably going to be a little bit too tight for you. And you better have your shots on the money because it doesn't give you a whole ton of leeway to work with. And honestly, that would make for a decent turkey pattern as well. It's a nice, beautiful, even spread. It gives you a little bit of leeway to work with around the edges. So we might have to bring this combo out and actually throw a turkey target up and see what it looks like for there as well. So let me know if that's something you guys might want to see. These TSS waterfowl loads for turkeys. So this one, although it's a very nice pattern overall, you absolutely dusted that duck, no doubt about it. It's definitely on the tight side for a lot of people, but there's no voids in it either. It's a nice, even, uniform spread. And that's what we have seen from these shells. Nice, even spreads across the board and surprisingly tight, even down in the much less constriction range. The cylinder, skeet, improved cylinder chokes. So if you want a little more open pattern, you don't need any kind of tighter choke than this. Anything modified and less is going to be more than good enough. So once again, pretty impressive results from these shells. That's a nasty pattern, no question about it, but it's on the tight side. With a mod choke, might be a touch tight for a waterfowl pattern. And here's the wad from that shell. Looks very much normal for these. I am not a hand loader or reloader or anything, but I believe this is some variant of the Ballistic Products low bore contact wad. It's got the ribs down the side here. It's got a little cork piece down in there, but nothing else stuck down in there. We got one pedal that might have twisted a little bit, and the little tail skirt piece started to invert just a little bit. This is something I have noticed with these wads, not just loaded by Salt Creek, but when we see them in other shells as well. If you start to run a little bit too much constriction for the load, this little tail piece starts to invert. It doesn't really seem to affect the pattern all that much, but it does happen. Either way, looks very much like I would expect it to today, and we know these are some really nice performing wads. Whether it's in a turkey shell or a waterfowl shell or whatever, these are nice performers, but nothing out of the ordinary as far as the wad goes. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that performance right there? I think it pretty much did what I thought it was going to do. That's a pretty nasty looking pattern right there. If you hit a duck with that, you're going to absolutely hammer them. I mean, you could even goose hunt with that if you wanted to. Some people prefer TSS 7s or 8s for geese, but a number 9 with that tight of a pattern and at that velocity over 1400 feet per second, you're going to hammer them with that as well. No doubt about it. So I know this is probably going to be about a 50-50 as far as the pattern goes. For some people, that's going to be too tight for a waterfowl type of pattern. For other people that like their tight patterns, that's going to be perfect for them. And both are very valid opinions there. But that particular combo right there would make for a great all-purpose combination. You could do anything from varmint control, pest control, you could turkey hunt with it, you could waterfowl hunt with it, and it would do all of those just fine. So overall, I would call it pretty impressive for a result today. But as always, leave your thoughts down in the comments. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these Salt Creek triple curl shells? And if so, what kind of results have you seen? Is that a pattern or a combo that you would ever waterfowl hunt with? Or is it a little bit too tight for you? And maybe what other uses would you use that combo for? And what other shells or choke combos do you want to see when it comes to 20 gauge waterfowl stuff? Is there another combo you want to see these shells through? Or another shell that you want to see us test? I definitely plan on doing more waterfowl patterning and 20 gauge version of that as well. So let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All that information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.